everybody, welcome back to Cabin Crafts, and today we're going to do a craft that I've already done before on Ron's Frontier Patriot channel. So if you want to go over to Ron's Frontier Patriot channel, you can see it there too. It's a few, I did it last Christmas sometime, but we're going to do it again, and I'm going to show you from start to finish how to make a Moravian star and even how I dip them in wax. And I didn't show that in the other videos before, so we're going to talk about wax and how to dip them and how to make them. So to get started, we just need paper strips. And I get these online already cut. And they come in lots of different widths, lots of different lengths. I believe this one is 3/4 of an inch by 22 inches long. If you try to cut your own, if they're not cut perfectly straight, you'll have problems. It's got to be perfectly straight. So I would just Google Moravian stars. That's M-O-R-A-V-I-A-N, stars, and paper. Moravian star paper. Just Google that, and you'll find several different suppliers online. It's not expensive, and you can make a lot of stars out of just a couple of reams of paper that you can buy online. So we're going to use 4 strips of paper, and today I'm using contrasting colors so that it's easier to see on camera what I'm doing. And the history of these little stars goes back to the early 1800s, and it was invented by a man in Niesky, Germany, as a geometry lesson for his boys class. So they were learning geometry, and so this is what he came up with. He must have been a genius, because I don't know how he would have imagined this in the first place. But I'm going to show you step by step. Then we're going to dip them in wax, and that's also traditional. That's what they would have done. It makes them very sturdy. So these haven't been dipped in wax, and I'll show you how to do that. And then I've even got mica flakes that are the antique natural colored mica flakes, like they would have put on ornaments back in the early 1900s, and it makes them look really pretty. So we'll do that too. So I'm going to show you how to do all of this on today's video. So let's get started. And like I said, you'll need paper strips, you'll need scissors, and I left my little tiny hole punch at home, and so I'm having to use my big ugly paper punch, but you'll get the idea. You can buy the little hole paper punches in any craft department, any craft store department like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, anywhere in the paper crafting scrapbooking section. That's where you would get it. So we need a paper punch, we need scissors, and we need our paper strips. So let's get started. Like I said, I'm going to do 2 contrasting colors. And first of all, we're going to fold it in half. We're going to fold our paper in half and crimp it. And then on the end, we're going to cut just a couple of notches off the side so that we have tabs. And that will help us to insert it whenever we have to tuck it into each other. So we're going to start with the white, and it's going to go facing up away from me. Then we're going to take a red, and we're going to make that one point to my right, your left, and it's going to go completely through that. So there's that. Then we're going to take a white, and it's going to go towards me. So we're going to open it up and stick it under that one and over the red. Then we're going to take the last red, and we're going to open this up, and we're going to go through, have the whites, both whites, go through the red, and then we're going to tuck the red into the inside of the white. And then you just squinch it all together. Scrunch it all together, and that's what it looks like. So this is a basic basket weave. Well, now we're going to do a double basket weave, because as you can see, this is still wonky. It can fall apart. So we're going to stabilize this. You want to make sure all of your folds are very parallel and straight. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring just the top strip straight down. and fold it, and it's going parallel with that other white strip. Then we take my left strip, your right strip, and fold it completely across, and it's parallel with that other red one. Then we're going to take the bottom strip, just the top part of the bottom, and fold it straight up, and it's parallel with that one. Then the last one, we're going to take it, and this is what's going to hold it together. It's going to go across this white one. Let me get a hold of it here. And tuck it into that one. Pull it straight across and press it down. So now you see it's going to hold together. So that is your basic basket weave. So now we're going to start making these side points all the way around. So I'm going to start with what's up in front of me. So I'm going to take this top right and curl it under and parallel with this red one and make a triangle. Can you see that? So it's underneath, make a triangle. Then we're going to bring this one straight down next to that, and you can see what it's doing there. Then we're going to fold it in half, and let me see if I can hold this up so you can see on the camera. We're going to tuck it into the red one underneath. So I hold that point down with my forefinger so I can get under there, and you just pull it straight, and now we've got our first point. Turn it clockwise. So you're skipping that one. Going to take the top right one again, and now that's a red one, and we curl it under, and then we bring it down right alongside. And I don't know if you can see or not, but I leave a little bit of a crack there so that I can fold it easily in half. And we're just going to hold that down, and you stick it into the white behind it. Turn it clockwise, and we're going to do the same thing again with the top white one. You notice I'm doing every other one. So we're going to turn this under and straight across, parallel with the other red one. We're going to bring it straight down alongside and leave a little crack. Fold it in half, hold it down with your forefinger, and tuck it under the red and pull it through. And now we're on the last red one on this side. And this one will be a little tricky. We're going to do the same process, but when we get to the end to tuck it, I'll have to show you that there's actually a false piece that we've got to go behind. So we're going to turn it under, straight across, straight down, alongside, like that. Fold it in half. Now this is where it gets tricky. There's actually a flap here that if you put it under that, it's not going to stick to anything. So you're going to go to the one behind it. You kind of got to be a bit of a contortionist on this last one. So there we go. So this is what we have. We have 4 points. So now we're going to turn it upside down. And we're going to work with the last 4 long strips and do the same thing all over again. We're going to go straight across and under, straight down, leave a little crack, fold it in half, and tuck it in. Pull it through. Turn it clockwise, do the white one. Now we're going to go under and straight across, straight down with a little crack, fold it in half, and tuck it onto the one under it. There's that one. Turn it clockwise, do this long red one, under and straight across, straight down, fold it in half, and tuck it in there and pull it through. And then the last one, it's going to be the same situation again. we have a little bit of an extra flap there, or one of the extra tails. So under and across, straight down, over in half, and again, that it won't be attached if you just put it under that. So we've got to go under that one. Pull it straight through. Put that back. And so now we have all 8 of our points. So there's one side, and there's the other side. Now we're going to do the crown. And this is the one that drove me crazy. I could not get this figured out for a long time. And I finally got it figured out at my dining room table one night, and then I was like, what did I do? So I had to back the paper back out, try to figure out what I did, because I did it accidentally. But once you get the hang of this, make a whole bunch of them so that it sticks in your mind. I have people wanting to have kids sign up for this class, but I would say this is probably maybe for 12 and over, but not little ones. I think this is too hard for them. I tried to give classes and parents insisted on bringing their little kids, and they got mad and it didn't work. So anyway, older kids, this would be perfect for like middle school age. So now we're going to do the crown, and I've got it facing me, and we're going to take this piece and hold it out of the way. Actually, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to draw snake eyes. Ron's probably cringing right now because he don't like snakes. And I'm going to draw snake eyes on all the long pieces. And what this is going to do is help keep that side facing up. So you think about it as his little face needs to be facing up. So I've done it on all the long strips. So we're going to, now what have I done? There we go. We're going to pull this one out of the way and be working with the one always facing the bottom, pointing towards us. And keep his little face straight up, curl it around, and it's going to go under that white one. So now you see that funky curl, maybe. Hopefully you can. If you try to just take it like this and stick it under that one, you're not going to get your crown. It's got to be staying facing up, curl it around, stick it under him, and you see that ribbon like that. And then when we're at this point, I like to just take this piece and give it a crimp. And then we'll poke this one through. You can see he's coming out that side, and pull it, and you get your first crown. Then we're going to turn it clockwise. We're going to be working with this one. Pull him out of the way. Keep his little face straight up. Put it under the one you're holding back. So you have that ribbon that looks like that. Give it a crimp and pull. Turn it clockwise. Pull this one out of the way. You're always working with the one facing you. Keep his little face right side up. Stick him under the one you're holding back. Give it a twist. And pull. And now all we have is one. And so you don't have to hold a piece of paper out of the way. This one is going to get tucked under this crown. So we're just going to keep his face straight up. Go under that one. And you can see it coming out. Give it a twist and a pull. And there's that side done. Now you turn it over, and you're going to do it all over again. So I'm going to put my little snake eyes on here. And this really actually helps people keep it right side up all the time. So again, we're always working with the one in front of us. So take this one out of the way, hold it aside, take his little face, keep it right side up, stick it under there, give that a twist. And sometimes I have to wet my thumb when my fingers are starting to get dry. And you pull. Turn it clockwise. Going to be working with this one. Pull him out of the way. Keep his little face right side up. Give that a twist. And pull. Turn it clockwise. Pull this one out of the way. Straight up. And tuck it. Give it a twist and a pull. And then we're left with the last one. So he's just going to go get tucked under the first one. And you can see, hopefully, see it coming out. Give it a twist, pull, and we're done. We've got a crown on both sides. So now all we got to do is take our scissors, lay it alongside each point, and cut off the tail. And you can also Google written Moravian star instructions. So maybe a combination of watching the video and reading the written instructions, you might be able to get it figured out. I did not get this the very first time. I sat at my dining room table. This was before there was YouTube or anything, many years ago, and I sat with written instructions for 3 hours at my dining room table, and I was like, I am not getting up until I figure this out. And so that's how I did it. So don't get mad at yourself if you don't get it on the first try. I will be honest with you, it is not easy. It might be easy for some the first time, especially if you have a very geometrical type mind, but it took me 3 hours to figure it out. So don't get mad. Make sure you get a lot of paper so you can practice. And then all we need to do is just punch a hole in one of the points, and it doesn't matter which one. Like I said, I had to bring this big ugly thing because I left my nice little fine one at home. But you can do these in, there's so many different color combinations. Like here in the store, I've got fall colored ones right now for people that want to decorate with fall. You could do Easter colors. You can do Halloween colors. You could do your high school colors and give them as ornaments to teachers. You can do solids. You could have 4 different colored pieces of paper. That would be pretty wild. But now I'm going to show you how to dip them in wax. So we're going to move this all to the side. And we're going to talk about wax a little bit. This is what I use. This is called Gulf wax. This is paraffin. Our grandmothers years ago used to put this on top of their jelly when they canned. So if you go to the store, it will, in a hardware store, it will be in the canning department. In the grocery store, I found it at Walmart underneath Jell-O. So there was like all the Jell-O, and then here was Gulf wax. So it was in the Jell-O section in my Walmart. So, and it's not very expensive. I think each block is around $4. And I also bought a very cheap crock pot. The cheapest crock pot you can find. You can even go to the thrift store and get a used crock pot. Them old ones from the 70s, those would even be great. But I always keep all of my wax in here. So I've always got hot wax because I dip a lot of my crafts in wax, believe it or not. But for these, we're going to dip them in wax, and you'll see their color change. It's really pretty. The red becomes a very deep red, and the green is a really dark green. So all I have, these are very expensive, not. These are just giant paper clips that I opened up, and this is what I dip my stars with. And you can see I got a couple of them because I always lose them. But you just go like this. Wait a minute. Before I do that, let me get some mica chips ready because I want to show you how to do that. Because this is fun. So mica flakes are a natural product. These look dirty compared to the white, you'll see. But it's because they're natural. And so these are the glitter that you would see on real antique German ornaments from the 1800s. This is what they had. And I love that antique look about them. And we can do a lot of projects in the future with mica flakes too, but you can get these online also. So what I'm going to do is, while they're wet, I'm going to throw mica flakes on the stars and it will stick to the wax. And so you'll see how that's done. So let's do this one. And like I said, I did contrasting colors so you all can see how to do it. If you'd like to decorate Scandinavian Christmas or Canadian Christmas, that would be perfect. Okay, so you can see the difference between the colors. We're still dripping, that's why you put wax paper under you. So you can see the difference when it's dipped in wax, how the green turns really dark. So I'm going to do another one and I'm going to throw the mica flakes on it so you can see that. So I'm going to dip it in my crock pot here. And while it's wet, kind of got to get the excess off. And believe it or not, you can actually touch this once you lay it down. It's not too bad. So take some of the mica flakes, flip it over, and voila. Isn't that pretty? Very traditional to put the mica flakes on. Let's do a red one so you can see how dark that red turns. And I'll show you next to a regular one. Get some of the wax off. See the difference when they're dipped in wax? Oops, I left a corner. Didn't get it. There we go. That's the good thing about this. If you make a mistake, you can just redip it. So there's the red. Here's the red. We'll throw mica flakes on this and just flip it over, and it will stick to the wax while it's wet. And there you go. So I've just got some green twine and a pretty big needle, and gosh, I've had this for years. You can see it's a really big roll, but I make a lot of stars. And we're just going to, and I usually use a needle because I've got that tiny little hole, but today I didn't have it, so I just always use green twine so that it matches the color of the branches of the tree. And just tie it off. And you have a pretty Moravian star Christmas ornament. And once you figure this out, these make great handmade gifts. I mean, it'll cost you a little up front if you don't want to buy a crock pot. You can have an old pot that you have with a coffee can and put your wax in a coffee can and then just simmer it in water and dip it in there. If you don't want to use a crock pot. But I dip so many things in wax that I just went and got me a $13, it was $13 brand new. One of the cheap crock pots. I mean, it doesn't come out or anything. And like I said, you can usually find the old 70s and 80s ones in the thrift store. And then the golf wax, and it probably takes 2 or 3 blocks of golf wax. Like I said, if you're doing it in a coffee tin at home, it wouldn't take as much. But I dip a lot of things in wax, so I have a lot of wax on hand. But I mean, these wind up, I sell these in the store for just, $2 or $3. And it's a handmade gift. And people buy these left and right because it's so unique. Not a lot of people make them anymore. They used to be pretty prevalent years ago, but make a great gift, especially for teachers. So like I said, if you have your school colors, you could give each of your kids' teachers an ornament in your school colors or just Christmas colors. But there you go. There's a Moravian star. So thank you for watching.